Dave. Hello, everyone. I am back. Oh my gosh, it feels like for a very long time, even though I have been watching the shows, but I am back and so glad to be here. I have so much to share with everybody tonight. So, whether you are watching this live or you're going to watch this on a replay, I'm just here however and whenever you watch this. So, first off, thanks to Joanna and Denise Flood and Linda Horn for holding down the fort over the last few weeks. Wow, been, on my end, I was, of course, 2 months ago in a hurricane, but ever since that, I was doing a lot of travel, a lot of shows, a lot of presentations all over the country, telling people about and spirit and really just bringing the good word of consciousness. So finally, when I got back from my last show in Cincinnati, and by the way, let me know you're here so I know who's here, so I know who I'm talking to. Thank you. Then I came back from Cincinnati, and boy, did I get walloped with sound. It hit me, and I'm still 3 weeks later getting back. Thank you, Trish. I feel so much better, and I think as divine spirit would have, the right things, food, nutrition, situations, protocols, all showed up when I needed it. And I feel like amazing. So I'm going to be sharing all of that tonight with you. Carrie, hey, Heather, you're here. You made it. God. And I'm assuming real-time wisdom must be Joanna, but we'll see. Joanna's been holding down the fort. So tonight's her, she gets a Monday off. We have been just going at it. And not only we've been just going at it personally, but we are gearing up for the second deck. It's about to arrive. So there are, you've been sending in your addresses, and there is a lot. Linda's just been really a stellar, super things ready. But I'm telling you, those decks, my God, chills up and down. I mean, and then some. They're so beautiful. I gave a little sneak peek to Denise the other day. The altar cards, the bonus cards, what is in store for everybody. So we're just waiting for that UPS letting us, we know they're on the boat. So tonight's going to be an amazing show. I have a lot to talk about. And really, I don't know for all of you, but I know when I am sick, it's I think spirit's way of like making me pause and really reflect. Raspberry. I did a lot of raspberry over the last few weeks. Tamara, oh my God, so good to see you. Feel you. During this time, definitely a downtime, like a wallop of a downtime. I had time to really think about a lot of things, where we're going, what we're doing. And I realized I had been wanting to do this because I noticed it a lot in the certification classes. Joanne and I, we get amazing questions, and we have so much content. As you know, some of you have taken the program. Each question that you ask, I have so much in my head. So does Joanne, that we want to just spend hours on that subject, because there's a lot to know about food and spirit and right, spirit and science. And so what's the best way of getting you the information? And then we should start a blog series. And now that has happened. So I put out the other day, and I'll put the link here. You're going to see a whole series of blogs, and those are going to go like deep dive. A lot of you have seen some of these foods for the first time. You tell us what moringa was, durian. I mean, there are a lot of foods, and we do that on purpose. GAC fruit, that's our integration card in the new deck. What's GAC, right? So we want to expand, pineapple, your understanding of food and from all over the world. We're going to be laying out these blogs, and there's going to be referrals to books, sorts of resources. And so we're calling it FHOD Finds, right? Food Healing Oracle Deck, the FHOD Finds, and it's series. So the first one I did the other day, and if you haven't seen it, March. Oh yeah, Tamara, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to be blocking spam at the same. I'm doing this. I don't have the bandwidth to do that tonight. No way. So, all right. So I want to go back to the first blog, and I'm going to show you some things, questions about it. After you've read it, you can tell me what you think. And also, if not, go read it. Because not blenders. Yes, it was about blenders, because people ask us all the time, what blenders do we use? What blenders? But there's a whole reason behind which blenders. It's really to get to the nutrition of the food, that Food Healing Oracle Deck. So we started off with putting what foods were great. And comes up is the avocado, and we have to put the avocado seed in your foods. Now, everything that I put into that blog, I say your own research, even though I gave you Harvard studies, I give you all sorts of Austrian studies. People say no, and a good majority said yes. When I became an advanced food healing instructor, I took this amazing book. I can't believe this. It's Semi-Survived the Hurricane and So this is the book when I was taking the course, and all my pages are all wet still, but it's out of print. They don't have them anymore. But I wanted to tell you what Jeff Primack says, and I think I referenced him in the book. Avocados are one of the highest in glutathione, which is your liver's detoxifier, right? That's what gets. The seed is the greatest artery scrubber and contains over 100. And he says, I read an advanced book on chromatography. So you don't need to know it. It's basically in the lab, they separate the parts of. Anyways, they did a chromatography called an avocado seed analysis. Just how many anti-cancer substances there are in one seed. Good for the eyes, and right. So I advocate, based on my teacher, and them in the blog. So go see the blog. And I'm, like I said, Harvard studies and a million other things. Phytochemicals, where are you going to get that? Name one other. I can't. So that's why I wanted to give you the recommendations on which blenders are going to pulverize that avocado seed into dust. And so, anyways, any questions? In fact, I think I could put that blog up. How to get to it, by the way. So if you go on the Food Healing Oracle Deck site, foodhealingdeck.com, there is now something called FHOD Favorites. And you click on this one. And anyways, FHOD Favorites, and my next one, I have a new blog already coming out. But when you go to this, read this. Tell me what you think. I spent a lot of time on it because I want you to have this information. But we talked about apples, right? Apples. Should you eat the core? Should you eat the skin? Yes or no? So I talked about that. Ginger, should you be peeling? Should you not be peeling that ginger? I talked about that. And of course, almond skins. Now, I happen to be allergic to the skins of the almonds. I really have to do like soak them or remove them, but I talk about how important it is. And then I go on a blender, and I gave you some suggestions of some ones. But read it. Let me know what you think. There's a lot of good, and I'm going to be doing a whole series of these. So I hope I forgot I'm not doing the show by myself. Were you able to see what I just shared? Someone let me know in the comments if you saw that. If not, just go to foodhealingdeck.com and FHOD Favorites and read that, because I think you're going to love it. But any questions about that? Yeah, I just lost my mind doing it. It was just so much information. You're missing out if you're scraping that avocado meat into your blender and throwing away that. You think about things that are anti-cancer, like you really want to go for all these hidden gems. And I just it can go on and on about the things that you think are the throw are really where it matters. Certain parts of the pineapple, I teach that in the certification, right? Which part of the pineapple actually has the most amount of nutrition. These are all the parts people are like tossing away. And I'm like, so if you're going to blend it with some of the ones I suggested. And that just helps us too, because, you know, there are little links, and, you know, that helps us. We may, refer you things mostly to Amazon, because that's the easiest to get to me anytime if you have questions about that. Good. Okay, cool. So an interesting thing happened. This is very exciting for me, and now very exciting for all of you. It's so amazing when you see things that are so aligned with the work that Joanne and I meet, namely aligned with how we feel about certain foods, what foods are in our deck, seeing things line up. For me, check all these boxes: nutritionally, ethically, environmentally, sustainability, you know, of, you know, things that clean, high vibrational. And it's very rare. There are not a lot of things out there that just light me up like that Christmas tree feeling. And oh, cool. Trish did get the Blend Tech on foundation. Very good. Did you use that link? Just kidding. Let me know if you did. That's important. So what had happened is I spent a week over on the East Coast of Florida, and I had to pick up my car. 2 months later, my car finally was repaired from the hurricane. Although it was drivable, it just got trees. And I mean, I was parked in Joanna's driveway, and the trees just fell on it. It was demolished in some way. So anyways, 2 months later, I'm waiting for the mechanic to meet me, because getting in. He goes, I'm going to drive the car to you. I was like, great. Okay, meet me at the car rental agency. So I'm killing time. I saw this store, and it looked like a vitamin store. Yeah, no worries, Trish. For years before Blend Tech was even like, just to go back, my Blend Tech is so like, oh, they last forever, but Blend Tech's rule. So yes, no matter what. But this new one, that's on my to get that new Blend Tech. I got to say, I love Vitamix. I love all the ones I recommended, but I have just been wedded to Blend Tech for decades. And I still have the original one. It still has like maybe list. Anyways, back to the story. So I go into this Jamaican health food store, and I immediately walked in, and like I just have certain signals in my body when things are, and I get a little scratch. I start itching. I start scratching, like little things. I don't know if You have different things. Some people get the chills, some people get things on the back of their neck. Everyone has their own thing. But I know when I'm in the presence of something too. And this store, I walked in and everything they had was like, oh my store. They immediately went in. There was all these things on soursop. Okay. They had all these things on moringa, sea moss. And if you know any, or if anyone knows anything about sea moss, it's like loaded with stuff. Actually, in our new deck in second helpings. And then there was a whole smoothie bar, and all the smoothie recipes were like the quintessential smoothie recipe if I had to take all the best ingredients in the world. And I've come across this powder, this energy powder, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? Come on. And then I come across, come on, gratitude and miracles right now. Anyways, I go and buy it. I'm like, I can't wait to go home and try the soursop because it's not only soursop, but oh my God, there's so many things in here. There's like 77 minerals, there's everything. But anyways, I'm going to read you, interpret it in food healing oracle deck language. But the first thing I wanted to say is, in a nutshell, selling these, and I have them available, and I have a small quantity, and I know I'm already sold out in 2 days, almost sold out. I have some. I'm going to get you this. But anyways, I took it home, and I was still not feeling the hump of what this bug I had for a very long time. You probably can still hear it until that day. And I was like, am I imagining, or am I like suddenly feeling a shift in energy? And I'm like, how can I not? I mean, it was practically, I didn't even write all the ingredients down, but just think, these are just the ingredient deck, both decks: hemp, pomegranate, noni, ginseng, ginger, goji berry, of course, soursop, and acai. Those are just from our deck, okay? Then it has maca, gooseberry, ginkgo leaf, sarsaparilla. It's loaded. Like I was off the chart. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have it a couple days in a row. And anyways, to make a long story short, I was like, who is this formulator? Someone or somebody who really knows herbs and understands these foods like we have in the deck. Anyways, to make story short, I go to, and it turns out the whole thing is completely spirit led. So I go and look up the manufacturer. I have to know what's going on here. Do you believe in the entire planet? They're 20 minutes away from where I was staying. I kid you not. I said, oh my God, I just learned about your product. I have got to carry this, my community. This is totally aligned with our deck. Anyways, you're probably going to get yours tomorrow. Oh my God, Denise already has hers. I'm telling you, Joanna has hers. Holy cow, you have to call me because I have it now. And I said, like, anyways, I go to supply. I said, I've got to get a good supply of this for my community. I walk in. I'm telling the woman how I'm so blown away. I'm so blown away by the ingredients. I'm looking, and I'll have this for you soon, but you got to just see, you can't see here, but anyways, in the RDAs, it's off the charts. My whole body's like lit up. So I'm telling her all about this. And I said, whoever did this, I'm just in awe and in honor. And I'm really resonating with these products. And they're just right up the alley of what we teach. I just want to, give my reverence and honor to the formulator of these products. And the woman said, that would be me. And I'm like, no way. Oh my God. I'm like, make a long story short, I totally hit it off with her, and I go and get the deck. And I come in And I'm like, well, this is what we do with these foods that you are putting in your product. And mind you, we had at one time, we were going to develop powder. And if I had to think of a perfect world, what are all the things? I was like, wow, there's got to be other products out there that would have some sort of already developed what they're here. Anyways, I go and give her a reading. And this is like this mystical woman who clearly knows what she's doing. She loves the deck. She's like, I'm a reader too. Anyways, we get talking all about food healing oracle deck, and we have this whole conversation about herbs. And to make a long story short, I'm now working with her so I can work with formulations and sell these products. So that's it. The next blog is going to go deep into moringa. I'm going to do moringa next, but then these, because I'm now talking about like for moringa and for soursop. Soursop is, and I'm not making claims. These are research. Okay. These are things that you see out in lots of studies. When you think of cancer, you think of very effective against cancer, soursop. Antioxidants, fights bad bacteria in the body, fights free radicals, right? What do free radicals do? That's what's causing inflammation, which is causing disease of everything. Soursop, okay? Crushes out high vitamin C, magnesium. You can look up soursop. That's why it's our miracles card in the deck. And that's why other countries use soursop in everything. When Joanna was on her trip in Roatan a couple years ago, they had big soursop. I forgot all the things. She can maybe put that. Okay. So anyways, when I see up, I have to tell you all about it. And anyways, if you just contact me, if you know how to reach me, but if not, info@foodhealingdeck.com, and I will get you a bag because I now have them. So anyways, I walked into the place and I thought there was only the soursop one. There was a moringa one too. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, moringa, that's in the next blog. Read it. I'll have in the next couple days. I've always been, and moringa is actually called, does anyone know what the nickname for moringa is? It's actually called the miracle tree for all of health. Well, we already had a miracles card, right? We have soursop. So since moringa was in our new card deck, and I think a lot of you already know that, we called it gratitude for the miracles that moringa is providing our body. And so I am now alternating daily, one of each, and I highly recommend that as well. And what does moringa do? A million things. Details, really kind of details and studies. Like I get a little food sciencey in the blog, but keep an eye out for the blog. But overall, balances your blood sugar. So diabetics, great. Blood pressure, hypertension, stroke, any of those concerns, moringa. Digestion, brain, actually an air element when you think about the brain. So moringa and soursop are my two favorite things, and sure enough, that's what these are for. So and Joanna here, she writes, they had soursop craft beer, delicious, and they were selling gallons of soursop tree. I drank it all week. Yeah, well, and Joanna, you've been on it. Maybe I should have ordered the moringa, get you out the moringa. I'll save you one. But I specifically, I had a talk with, I tuned in with some of the people I'm already working with. And I think soursop's a good starter, but I can get you out the moringa. There's more. Okay, there's more. So I walked in, of course, my husband likens it. My husband, as you know, is a music producer. Some of you know that. And he says when he goes into a certain music store and sees all the bells and whistles and gadgets and guitars, He says, I bet it was like that for you. I said, are you kidding? I walked in and it was like I was in Willy Wonka land. All these things that I just know what they do for the body. And I'm looking at everything. She was the formulator. Like I was in the presence of, like, to me, you know, like someone very, very special. Do a retreat together for the community. And she was all about it. Anyways, Joanne and I previously, before I got there, Joanne and I had a conversation, and the conversation went like this. Let's tune in to all. I know when I get there, I'm going to be so overwhelmed and want to take home everything and share it. But, you know, can't do that. So she and I tuned into, like, I don't know, let's just say 30 products. And we tuned into what the two we felt were right. Besides these powders, that was a given. We are already on them. And again, contact me. I'm going to get you them right away because I have a small amount and I'm going to reorder. I could already tell because they're almost gone. What's the best thing in this entire place for inflammation? Because inflammation is the number one killer. When our body's inflamed, you know, we're achy, we have joints, our arthritis, fibromyalgia, disease, like everything is like really affected by inflammation. So if you can get in the body, then everything starts to harmonize, right? So like, how do we kind of start moving our body mechanism so we don't get sick? Like, I had a vulnerable time. I was stressed, I was exhausted, and boom, my body wasn't, you know, my body got hit with this, you know, this flu that was going around. But thank God I'm on the mend, and thank God Spirit gave me all these products. Like, here. Anyways, so the answer to the question of this, and I'm not going to say of course, but as it would turn out, it was exactly what Joanne and I had tuned in, that we're like, we think it's going to be, we think we want this product. And sure enough, it was. So I'm going to show you what it is. It's called Blood and Internal Cleanser. It's an herb and fiber omega-3, 6, and 9 tonic that you drink in the morning, even before your smoothies. And it removes waste, all the toxins gone, parasites gone, all the things that are preventing your body the nutrition to get the nutrition from the rest of the foods. So we got on this protocol that we have a little bit of the, and then later we'll have one of the meringue or the soursop shakes. So when I said, what's the best thing in this place for inflammation? And she said that. So sure enough, I bought some to try, because I'm not going to ever refer anything to anybody unless me and Joanne. I always want Joanne. And when we're in alignment, we're in alignment. And so in any case, that is going to be available very soon. So as well. So I have, I just feel like an amazing blessing came in with these, and I'll be writing deeper about them in the blogs, and we can all be sharing our thoughts about it. And hopefully please share it with others, because the stuff's really great. And that's that. Any questions about any of that? Here again, I think I put it, info@foodhealingdeck.com. That's me. And if you want some, or message me, just tell me you want some, and I'll get you some. Or like I said, they're $32. They are $40 if I have to mail them. I thought 38, but it's a little bit more in postage. So they're heavy. Two if you're local, otherwise they're 40. And if you want one of them, I will get them out to you right away. So you're going to see more and more info, because sometimes we're talking food science, other times we're talking about spirit, other times, right, chakras and psychic activation, because our world here is, it's all encompassing. Because we, in order to open up our third eye, in order to have more meditation, in order to listen to spirit, we need to have the body fueled at a much higher rate, a much higher vibration. then the density of food that's weighing us down, and our body spending too much time digesting the wrong foods. We need to be light so we can move energy, we can get energy, become more crystalline. So it all ties in. That's what our teachings are. So yes, sometimes we're talking about spirit and we're doing readings and we're talking about all these cosmic things. And other times, and more now, we got to get the body tempo in gear so we can be up level in that higher mystical, because they work hand in hand. And that's what we're teaching in the deck, right? EMPS wellness, emotional. So sometimes we'll be touching on emotional, just like the show, right? The other show, right? Nourish Your, haven't tuned in, it's once a month. But this month, and it's on the 27th, it's always on the fourth Tuesday at 5 p.m. if it's Eastern. And Joanna is my guest for the show. So be sure and listen to it, because we're going to really talk. This show is EMPS. Those are the 4 segments. But this month it's Joanna. So tune in and we'll be sharing. But that whole body health and wellness starts on all the teaching. And we help to start integrating it. And I know we spend a lot of time on the spiritual, but the physical. And I will really want to start bringing more of this to you, the food science and understanding why we chose those foods. And, you know, some of you, I know, do you read the practical gifts when you're reading the book? Consider it, because there's so many clues in there. It's not just about the spiritual. For some of you, the readers, I get it. You want to just read the spiritual meaning, but the practical gifts, there's things there too. And those books. And so that's why these blogs are going to bring you extra information, so you really see the full encompassing of why we made the book, why we chose the foods. So that's all I have. Woo! Did I do that in 30? Any questions on anything I shared tonight? Do you like hearing more? And let me know. Let Joanne, let us know. Do you want to hear about a certain food in the deck in depth? I'll write a blog about it. You know, if you have certain things that you vacation or in any of our classes or in any of our shows here that you're like, you know what, can you touch more on that? Let us know. We'll blog about it, because we can't all, you know, things are moving fast and we have a lot of energy on a lot of things. And sometimes something's not being bypassed. Like, really, what is elderberry? What are those dark, you know, like some people know, some people like, you know what, can you expand on that? And we'll be happy to do that. This is totally up my alley, right? Food science. That's what I wanted to share tonight. Now, a couple things, just a couple announcements. One is, for those of you who haven't, you're highly encouraged. You know, we also have this other altars, shrines, and sacred spaces. And that is our other passion. Obviously, that's why we altar cards. And some of you got those. But it led to the bigger discussion of how to have a beautiful sacred space at the house. And anyways, we have the altar, shrines, and sacred. Eventually we'll have the book written, but join us over there. It's so amazing. We're providing different items, right? This week we gave you ideas on candles and incense and smudge and, you know, sage, Palo Santo, their altars and their sacred spaces. So if you need an altar for health, or you try and have a baby or a money altar, we're posting pictures. Everyone join it and share it with others, because that's another path. And of course, on, I think it's January 7th, we have our intention class. It's our altars, creating an altar for 2023. And if I can recommend, I can't recommend enough to attend it. Join as a group. When we all come together, this is what we're doing. You know, we'll have our altar cards. They might have not the altar cards for it, but we'll have samples of them. The altar cards were during the be new here. But in any case, join us for that class. It's free if you are Kickstarter backer. It's $44. We are going to energize 2023 like nobody's business. I think at least here, the hurricane pushed out all the energy that is creating new, like fertility, right? Our kale card. And I've been having a lot of kale all week. I've been craving kale. Pay attention to your craving. I get hardcore cravings. When I was sick, it was carrots. And I was really looking at that. So, right, I'm laying in bed. I'm feeling really defeated. And all week, I was craving carrot empowerment card. I was like, wow, I am feeling disempowered. And my body's like, let's build you up, spirit, right? Spirit always knows what to put on your grocery list. So that was then. This last week, every day I've made homemade kale chips. Like I put kale in my blender. I kept putting kale. Like, oh, I think I want kale again. Card, new beginnings. And I was, after having these protein powders, I was like, oh, I'm feeling a shift. I'm now beginning anew. And like, I'm just so, that's why we do a journal. I track everything. What am I feeling and what foods am I craving? And then I connect it into the deck. And that's how I work. And so just good stuff for you to consider. Really hone in on those cravings because they're full. And if you get a hankering, I mean, we hear it at the shows all the time. I've been craving that all week. And we pulled them that one card and like, that's the card I just bought that food last night. This is all because soul already. Now we're having you be trained to learn and listen to all the clues and the signs so you can be like working in tandem with soul for yourself. So anyway, rest from the intention class, but that's on January 7th. We have our altar group. And then if you haven't done this, you have until January 6th, but we have our crystal class, crystals in the Food Healing Oracle deck. And some of you are signed up. Well, last week, one of the other things I did was picked up all the crystals. Oh, they're so beautiful. And I'll have to show you this. I have them still in the box. How many of you have cats? Cats, dogs, mostly cats. Cats are such beings. Now, out of the entire house, I have to show you this picture. I set the box down because I was about to take all the crystals out. You get 10 crystals in the class, and we're mailing them ahead of time, and we're pairing them up with the Food Healing Oracle deck, the first volume. Take the class, and the crystals are beautiful. Anyways, look at this. I hope you can see this. Out of the entire house where my cat, Miss T, could be sitting, she went into the box with the crystals. I was like, God, they just tune right in. Is that hysterical? Oh my God. Okay. I thought it was like, yeah, she is the most tuned in kitty. Anyways, I'm going to teach it with Allison Bright. Most of you know her, an amazing classes herself, but she's a crystal connoisseur. And we're teaming up to teach the oracle decks and all these mystical teachings. And that is on Saturday, the 28th. So those are the two classes for January. Of course, March is our certification. February, it's already sold out. Level 2. Our level 2 certification going. And we're having another one in April. So if you do take certification level 1, you back level 2. All right. Those are all of my announcements. Just kidding. I have one more. So how many of you, and I don't even have any here. I wasn't even going to announce it today, but I'm so excited. Anyways, this is free. But in any case, if you, how many of you like hint water? Does anybody know what hint water is? Well, anyways, if you don't, you should check it out. Amazing. Right now, Food Healing Oracle deck has for Hinton Water, because their waters are foods that are in our deck. And it's, to me, so much like our teachings, like Dr. Moto, like he talked about writing love and feel the vibration of love. If you're drinking mango water, you're drinking joy water, or peach water, positivity water. And anyways, there's all these fresh essence of fruit. Anyways, we're going to have a little partnership, and stay tuned for that information. Buy it from us, we get a little credit, which is cool, but it's really drinking intentionally. And those are all the things in water, and we'll have info on that. But we have a lot of stuff on the docket, and everything's starting to really gel and integrate. I hope you feel that too. So I will leave you with that. We don't even know what the show is next. Thing amazing with amazing people, or it'll just be Joanne and I. And that's all I have. So to recap, check out our classes in January. Join us. There's no Coconuts Club this month because of the holiday, but Linda will be back in January doing that. Check out that blog I did on the foods that you should eat, because people always throw away the core. Read why you shouldn't. Keep it. And then if you want and this one for sure, this is going to be like my daily, let me know right away, and I will put you on the list as soon as the next case of the blood and internal cleanser. I didn't want to recommend it. I felt it, experienced it, know how to share it with you, and Joanna did the same. So now we're ready. Yes, get that one. Moringa and the soursop I have in stock right now. Anything else anybody wants to add before I sign off? Going once, going twice. Thank you for all your input by up here. Good to see you, Lisa. I say see you. You see me. I don't see you, but I see your little pictures. Okay, so if that's it, then that's it. So blessings to you. You know how to find me. Information helpful. I will start with the next blog, deeply diving into moringa. I have a few books to recommend that are specifically, I have one book I'm going to talk about in the blog from a clinical pharmacologist who is also like deeply into moringa. I'll be talking about her and her words. And I'm just becoming super obsessed with herbs, and really, I live on a farm here, and like I'm looking at each plant, I'm like, So I really starting to share more of that. All right, blessings. I'm so glad to be back. Thanks for being here. I hope I have some good info tonight, and we will see you next week. All right, namaste.